And so it gives them a job and a livelihood. They've got kids and families, and so they need to support themselves. And even though life is much less expensive in Nepal, as a Sherpa, they were making, as a mountaineering guide, they were making a lot of money comparatively to the rest of the population. So we had to find something where they could make relatively lots of money too. And so they're selling a couple of watches a year that they assembled in Nepal, and they're living happily in Nepal. And we're selling their watches here in the States also. And it gives us a way to have a different price point, where we have a slightly lower range, lower priced range of watches. That's still Kobold, but it says made in Nepal. But all the higher end stuff, that says Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, that's done by us here on the farm.
Wow, that's crazy in the sense of how you're able to help them that way by making watches. You wouldn't think it would be a transition, but it must have transitioned pretty well.
Yeah, the watchmaking was sort of something that they could pick up very easily, because their heart rate, their pulse, their resting pulse is so low at sea level or near sea level, because they were born up in the Himalayas at 14,000, 15,000 feet, that's where they live. Their resting heartbeat is so low at lower altitudes that when they put together a watch, they were so calm. You know, under a microscope, you and I shake a little bit, just a bit, as we're putting together a watch. Unless we get taught to breathe differently and to relax and go into a little bit like a Zen-like state to assemble a watch. And this is what makes a watchmaker good. It really does. And it usually takes about a year when watchmakers first get trained until they get to the point where they sit really still and they can assemble a watch precisely. A Sherpa, straight off the bat, I mean, these guys were assembling movements within a week, which was unheard of. We'd never even imagined that that would be possible. So they're great watchmakers. We're very proud of them.
Did you know that going in that would happen?
We actually went to lunch. My team and I went to lunch, and we told the Sherpas, just stay tight and learn a little more. We'll bring you lunch back. When we got back from lunch break, these guys had assembled a movement each. They just worked through it and learned to do it. And it's just unheard of. You know, you tell people that who know watchmaking, and
that's it's catching lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Wow, I said it was crazy at first, but now that makes it even more crazy. That they were actually naturally.
Yes, it's like they're natural born watchmakers.
I think you might have. I don't know if you want this video to go out.
Don't worry, we can always edit it.
Okay. All right, one last question.
Sure.
Your favorite watch, is it your watch you made, or is there a watch out there that is your absolute favorite? You think that's horology right there?
Well, I don't. When you make watches, when you're a watch manufacturer, your watches are a little bit like your children. And so it's unfair to say you have a favorite. And actually, in actual fact, what happens is very much like when you have children. Like one day this one is your favorite, and like the next day this one. And it changes a little bit. You know, like sometimes the boy behaves badly and the girl behaves well, and you like the girl more. But then like the next month, the girl's all bitchy and the guy's nice. So then it changes. It's the same with watches. It's just a matter of your moods and whatever else. So it depends on how I feel or what I'm doing at the moment that I have a favorite, maybe. But I know that's just a passing thing. It's very transient. As far as a watch that I've always considered iconic, that's a Chrono Swiss Regulateur. To me, that's always been one of the nicest watches ever made. There are other great watches. Hands down, there are beautiful watches. But to me, the Chrono Swiss Regulateur, the first one, hand-wound, it symbolizes something because of my relationship with Mr. Lang, and it's also an important piece historically in the newer sense, because that watch with Mr. Lang behind it and the Chrono Swiss brand rang in the renaissance of mechanical watchmaking that happened in the early 80s through the mid 80s and then actually into the 90s. That watch started it all. And another brand besides Mr. Lang's company was Blancpain, with Jean-Claude Biver behind it. And those two really pushed mechanical watches back into the marketplace and caused a renaissance to happen.
Yes, definitely.
And that has historical implications for us here in the States, because Kobold, along with another brand in Pennsylvania called RGM, are the only ones who are really pushing the Made in USA trend to come back. And by Made in USA, I really mean vertical integration. Because in this country, the Federal Trade Commission and the U.S. laws are so tightly defined what made in USA means, as opposed to Swiss made or made in Germany, which is very loose and ambiguous. Made in USA means it has to be sourced here and fabricated and assembled here for it to be made in USA. And that's what Kobold is a pioneer at, and our friends over in Lancaster, RGM. And so that's why that Chrono Swiss Regulateur has significance to me historically and as a beautiful timepiece.
You're going to have to show us that watch.
I'll be glad to.
Okay. Michael, thank you so much for letting me come here again.
Thank you for coming.
I've learned so much, and it's what I've learned. It's not. I wouldn't say a surprise. It would be more of like a dream come true to actually have somebody that is a watchmaker to do something that how I feel about buying a watch. What I would like the story behind the watch. I want to know that the person who made that watch really cared about what he or she was making. And again, the story means so much, and especially with the watches made in Nepal and the watches made in USA. That definitely needs to come back. Thank you for bringing that back to us.
We'll make that effort. We're part of it.
A lot of people don't realize how big USA was in the watch community, and horologically speaking. And thank you so much for doing that for all of us.
No, thank you. Thanks for supporting it.
I definitely am, and I will.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.